Mr. Speaker.
Order. The Honourable John Boscowan.
Mr. Speaker, I want to begin this afternoon by responding to the comments of the Honourable Tariana Turia. Tariana Turia said that we were right, referring to the Maori Party, to repeal the 2004 Act. And the ACT Party agrees with her, Mr. Speaker, and has always agreed with her. And Tariana Turia and the Maori Party members know that we strongly opposed the 2004 Act when it was passed through this Parliament in 2004. Tariana Turia said that we were right. The Maori Party was right to restore access to the courts. And so the ACT Party agrees with her and always has, and the members of the Maori Party know that. Tariana Turia also said that the ACT Party used the lodging of questions to members this afternoon to try and delay this bill, sir. And Tariana was right with that, sir. We did do that. And so the reason we did that is because we oppose this bill and we think this bill is wrong, sir. And we think this bill, sir, is wrong for the reasons which I'm going to summarise very shortly. However, Tariana Turia said that the ACT Party had used this legislation to denigrate tangata whenua. And Mr. Speaker, with respect, that's where I do disagree with her. Because we have not deliberately gone out of our way to do that, Mr. Speaker. We have fought for the rights of all New Zealanders and Maori New Zealanders to have their right to court and to have their right to access. But, sir, we have not gone out of our way to denigrate tangata whenua. Sir, the Tariana Turia said that the ACT Party had used this bill to try and create division, sir. I also, Mr. Speaker, totally reject that. We have not used this bill to try and create division, Mr. Speaker. And in actual fact, Mr. Speaker, we actually believe this bill will create division, and that, sir, Mr. Speaker, is one of the reasons that we so strongly oppose it. Mr. Speaker, why do I say that? Well, sir, there are a number of rights created, sir, here that will only be of benefit to those who gain customary title. And I want to come back to the test for customary title, but I want to take the opportunity to say to members of the National Party who will be voting for this bill that there are rights conferred on customary title holders that are over and above rights any other freehold property owner, sir, gets in New Zealand, whether they be Maori or non-Maori. Well, Mr. Flavel has just said that's shocking. Well, sir, we do think that's shocking because we believe strongly in one law for all, sir. And let me just give you one example of that, sir. It is a planning right. If iwi or hapu gain customary title to an area of the common and marine and coastal area, sir, and we've had Mr. Finlayson acknowledge that could be up to 10% of our coast, who knows? It could be a lot more than 10% of the coast. It could be a huge amount more, sir. Only know in time, sir. But the point is, if you gain customary title, you have a right to a planning right, and you can decide what actually happens on that piece of land or that piece of marine and coastal area, sir. And that ability, that benefit is not available, sir, to any other New Zealander. I want to repeat that. It's not available to any other New Zealander. No New Zealander who owns a piece of freehold land can decide what's going to happen on that land, go along, sir, to the local council and say to the council, this is what we want to happen on our land, sir, and the council must do as the landowner says, sir. And that is one of the benefits, sir, conferred on customary title holders, sir. Sir, if one looks to the genesis of the situation here today, we know that the judges in the Ngāti Apa decision in 2003, sir, said that iwi and hapu should have the right to go to court, sir, to stake their claim, and that is a right that the ACT Party has stood for consistently throughout that entire time, Mr. Speaker. However, what was the Labour Party's response to that, sir? The Labour Party's response, sir, was to pass the seabed and foreshore legislation to announce within a matter of hours of that Court of Appeal decision that they were going to substantially reduce the rights of iwi and hapu to go to court. Yes, they have got the ability to go to court, sir. There are rights there, but they were substantially lessened, sir, and the benefits that they would derive, sir, from going to court were substantially reduced. And so the ACT Party opposed that. But what has the National Party's response been, sir, Mr. Speaker? It has been to not just repeal it, not just to undo the injustice, but it's been to impose another injustice, sir. Another injustice. And why do I say that? Because what this bill does, sir, is it sets down a number of tests. It codifies the tests, as the Attorney-General tells us, and, sir, it doesn't leave it to the courts. And so there may well be, sir, some iwi or hapu who feel as though they had those rights are taken away from them, And as the Honourable Bill English said this afternoon, he talked about ongoing resentment. Well, sir, the only way to avoid ongoing resentment, the only way to avoid, sir, a sense of injustice is to allow iwi and hapu to go to court, to do what they've asked, sir, to do, and let the judges rule on that, sir. And as Tariana Turia said earlier this afternoon, sir, there was far more at stake than simply repealing the 2004 Act. Mr. Speaker, the National Party has responded exactly as the Labour Party did. They look to put in place legislation, sir. And, sir, there may well be iwi or hapu who are denied the right to go to court, sir, because of the tests laid down in this document. Equally, sir, there is the real chance that customary title may be transferred over land, sir, and provide benefits to a small group of New Zealanders at the expense of all other New Zealanders, sir. And I don't mean necessarily between Maori or non-Maori, sir. I between certain selected iwi at the expense of other iwi, sir, and other non-Maori, sir. And it always fascinates me to listen to Materia Ture, talk about the 12,500 private titles. I've always found that fascinating, sir, because of those 12,500 titles that Materia Ture reels against, sir, 3,000 are actually in the name of Maori, sir. So what are the benefits that go with a grant of customary title, sir? Well, sir, we have the potentially billions and billions of dollars, sir, of mineral wealth. We know, sir, that off the coast of the Waikato and Taranaki, there are literally billions and billions of dollars of iron sand, sir. Now, why are we concerned, sir? Because the test for customary title, the National Party has been happy to tell its own MPs and the public that the test is a very, very high test. They've said, sir, to the public of New Zealand that to be able to prove that, you need to show continuous and exclusive use and occupation of an area since 1840. And they've said to New Zealanders that's a very high test, sir. Well, it is a high test, but it's not actually the test. It's not actually the test. Sir, in 1840, the limits of our territorial waters were simply 3 miles. What this legislation says, sir, it enshrines in legislation the fact that it is assumed that iwi and hapu have customary titles, sir, over the foreshore and seabed out to 12 miles. Not 3 miles, sir, but 12 miles, sir. And that was a change to our territorial limits that was only legislated for in 1977. Sir, David Parker, in speaking on this bill in the committee stages, said that a vote for the National Party was a vote for the Maori Party, and a vote for the Maori Party was a vote for National. And I dare say that was simply a pitch to Maori voters who have previously supported the Maori Party to throw their political allegiance, sir, behind Labour. So we haven't sought to try and gain political support on this issue. We have sought, sir, to educate and to explain to New Zealanders what the provisions of this bill are. And I say to the members of the Maori Party, I ask them honestly, do they believe that New Zealanders have been told the truth by the National Party? Because if you honestly put your hand on your heart, I really don't think that you can answer that question yes. And the reason I say that, Mr. Speaker, is a lot has been said of customary of access to the common marine and coastal areas, sir. Well, sir, the boaties are going to get a surprise, sir, because they look at Clause 28. They will find that their ability to sail into a bay and to anchor, sir, if an area is granted customary title over, is limited to temporarily. Well, what is temporarily? Can you anchor your boat for 5 hours? Can you anchor it for 5 days? Who knows, Mr. Speaker? Yet the Attorney General will stand up and say this provides certainty. Sir, there has been a racist element to this debate, sir. We have received emails from members of the public, sir, and I've gone on record, sir, and I know the media have acknowledged this, that our position is different from the Coastal Coalition, and it has always been different from the Coastal Coalition, sir, because we actually believe that iwi and hapu should have the right to go to court, sir, and I have stressed that at every public meeting, sir, that I've held over the last 6 months, sir. every single public meeting, sir, Mr Speaker. And, sir, we'll be voting against this bill. We think it's a tragedy for iwi and for hapu, and we think it's a tragedy for all New Zealanders, sir, because the feelings of resentment that the Deputy Prime Minister spoke about this afternoon, sir, won't be reserved by this. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Thank you, George Wallace.